Still on his feet, the Chancellor Rishi Sunak is presenting his budget to the Commons, promised to do whatever it takes to support Britain through the coronavirus pandemic. Now, he's confirmed that the furlough scheme, covering part of the wages of the workforce to stop work during the crisis, will end at the end of September, so another extension. Interesting, somebody we've always touched on with all right the way through the pandemic is Nicky Jolley from HR Today, based in Darlington. I can't watch the budget because I can't have but you've been doing it for us, Nicky, haven't you? You've been watching the budget and the Chancellor for us.
I've been watching Rishi, making sure that he's looking after us, and he certainly is.
We'll have to get you a pass for the Christmas party here at BBC Radio Tees.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Because I think we're going to have one this year, aren't we?
I hope so. I absolutely hope so. So come on, you sound quite upbeat about this, Nicky. I've only been watching it on the screen. Your reaction to what's been said?
He's staged it. I think the nice thing about all of this, not just the furlough, but the tax issues and everything for businesses, he's not hitting us hard. He's giving us timescales that we can plan to, we can work towards. He is really supporting the UK business world, and that's what we needed, isn't it? We needed that positivity. We've got a roadmap now, and he's now giving us a proper timeline of when we're going to be affected, and he's going to give us a chance to recover before any bigger hits come towards businesses, which is amazing.
Is there anything that stands out for you? You know, that he's mentioned, something that's like, because they always say the rabbit from the hat, don't they?
Corporation tax. He's hit corporation tax, but he's hitting the bigger boys, not the little ones. So if you've got less than 250,000 profits, it won't affect you. But for the bigger boys that are into the millions of profit, they are going to be paying 25%. So, but not now, not until next year. That's coming in, and that's going to be phased through. So again, he hasn't hit anybody this year. Bless him, he hasn't taxed on fuel, he hasn't taxed on alcohol. He's paused everything because he is absolutely trying to give this country a true chance to set up and get back up and running and be what we're good at, which is brilliant, inspirational, and profitable eventually, I hope.
Because the thing is with corporation tax, we have been, pretty good with corporation tax in this country. It sort of aligns where he's put us to is, with our other countries that are within the G7 around the world. I think America are looking to up their corporation tax to a similar sort of level. It's just putting us in line with everyone. The line on unemployment, I was surprised with that he's expected to hit 6.5%, which is 1.8 million fewer than was expected. Is that testament to the furlough scheme?
I think it is testament to the furlough scheme, and I think, if I'm absolutely honest, and I think I said this at the very beginning, a lot of businesses suddenly went working from home, didn't need as many people, put loads of people on furlough and thought, do you know what, we can survive with a lot less people, it's streamlined, it's more efficient, it's quicker. The reality is that was only ever going to be a blip in my eyes. We're going to get back into the offices. We're going to get back to where we are. Let's be honest, nobody's been taking holidays. Nobody's really had an opportunity to be sick because we've all been at home and we haven't been taking time off work. So the workforce that people have had in have pretty much been there consistently. We are going to get back to normal where people are going to be taking fortnight holidays, I hope, getting abroad. Suddenly your workforce that's so lean and what we've been surviving on recently isn't going to last forever, and you're going to need resilience, you're going to need to get more people back in. So I think initially where businesses thought, you know what, let's make loads of people redundant, or that's going to be the plan when furlough ends, we can run on a lot less. One, I think a lot of businesses have grown. Unfortunately, I think there's two bands really. You've either really flourished in this and you're growing and you're continually growing, or unfortunately you've been hit really hard and either you may or may not survive, but it's touch and go. But I think the ones that have been growing have really run on a thin level of employees, and personally I don't think that's sustainable long term. So I think the fact that we thought there was going to be huge redundancies and lots of job losses, there has been, don't get me wrong, there's still been more than we would have anticipated, but I don't think it'll be as much as we anticipated long term, because I think businesses realise that there is still expertise in their team and they do need to bring them back and revisit what they do, maybe retrain, reskill, work differently and smarter. But I don't think they'll be getting rid of as many as initially thought, because I think it was very doom and gloom at the beginning, and I don't think it's that bad now.
I think with a lot of the self-employed, there was a lot that fell through the cracks in the pavement. Has he done anything within the budget to help those out? I'm thinking like industries like, the arts. I'm thinking like the coach industry, which seemed to struggle a lot. There was a lot of people that were in a self-employed environment which didn't seem to qualify for anything. Has that been sort of tapered up a bit?
He has touched on it today. There wasn't a huge amount of detail, but anybody who's filed a tax return, so a lot of people set up self-employed last year and they didn't qualify for anything. He has confirmed today that the deadline for your tax return was yesterday. As long as you filed a tax return by midnight last night, you are now going to qualify for the grants.
Right, and that's going to help so many people. Well, people coming to you, Nicky, because you work in HR, you see it from both ends. You get it from an employer and an employee base. Was today quite a pivotal day for a lot of people?
I work with a mix of businesses, so I've got some businesses that are still closed and they will be, so hospitality, things like that. Engineering and manufacturing clients, they've been pretty positive and worked right through, but obviously there's certain restrictions that they've had, so they've had to have less people in, they've maybe had to increase shifts to spread the workload. I don't think it's really had a huge impact on them, but I think the hospitalities give real hope. Is going to be giving start-up grants for gyms, hospitality, so anything like that is going to be providing start-up grants so that they can get up and running and start working quickly. I think that will help because we do look after a gym, we look after some hospitality, and some of those, were struggling, really struggling, where I think these start-up grants will just give them that glimmer of hope that will give them the injection that they need to make this work. And I think the furlough, for me, furlough's great. I'm shocked he's extended it across all sections, but in a way, I'm glad he has. I think employers need to take note and not just think, great, I'll leave everyone on furlough till September. Personally, my opinion is you need to phase people back. You need to start dealing with those issues. Some people will have been off for nearly 18 months. That's a big transition, and it isn't just going to happen on the 1st of October. So my advice would be look at this gap as a period where you can plan that transition, retrain your employees. Remember, you can train on furlough. So start looking at training, start looking at what they're coming back to, start dealing with any people issues now so that by October you've got your team back and you're not struggling and you're not having the issues of either people are scared or don't want to come back or don't know what they're coming back to, and you lose months of transition where use the flexible furlough, introduce people in part-time, you can still flexi-furlough, you can still give them the 80% for any hours that they don't work, so you might get people in 1 day a week. You've got to manage it in the best of your industry. 1 day a week could be more of a pain than not, but you could do mornings, you could do afternoons, you could do 3 days a week.
It's just that flexibility, isn't it?
Sorry.
It's just that flexibility of you. I think it was you initiated into me is that conversation between employer and employee and keep that narrative going. What do you think about Darlington being chosen as the Northern Campus for the Treasury?
Isn't it about time we've been in the spotlight? And I think the Northeast have been leading the growth all the way through this. And I think to get the Treasury in Darlington is just give everybody a lift. Give us confidence and it's give us a boost. It's joining up with Tees Valley Airport as well. It's really, growing. We've got all these different flights coming in. I think it's just give the economy in the northeast that boost we needed, that the government have confidence in us. And
as well, Nicky, just been breaking here that Teesport has been confirmed as a free port. So there's another bit of brilliant news.
Absolutely. We're absolutely on the way. We're in the right area and the growth is going to be out there. So anyone who's lost jobs, there's going to be jobs coming. Remember transferable skills. Remember to get your name out there. Get registered with agencies. Be looking for this excitement opportunity coming up. I think the North is the place to watch.
Absolutely. Nicky, get back to watching the telly, all right? I want you to do the box set of The Sopranos for tomorrow and I'll be testing you, all right?
Bless you. Thank you so much. I hope to speak to you soon.
See you, Nicky. Bye-bye. There you go. Bye-bye. Nicky Jolley there. If you just missed that, yes, Darlington is going to have the Northern Campus for the Treasury. And also just breaking as well, Freeport confirmed for Teesside. Just as we just chatting here on your BBC Radio Tees. Yeah, Nicky Jolley there from HR Today, based in Darlington.